Okay. Okay, good day everyone. My name is Hamidah Ramlan. Okay, I will present my paper in this conference, in international conference on social science, humanity and management study. I'm Mrs. Hamidah Ramlan from University Tenaga Nasional from Malaysia. Alright, so I will share with you my presentation, my paper. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. So I will present about the foreign direct investment, human capital and the economic growth at Malaysia. I'm from College Business Management and Accounting, University Tenaga Nasional from Pahang, Malaysia. And then my abstract in this paper, the aim of this paper is to test the relationship between foreign direct investment and human capital and economic growth in Malaysia. The data was collected and retrieved from the period of 1999 to 2019, which are gathered from the World Bank and Trading Economy. This study used the ADF unit root test to run the stationary in which significantly with a 1% significant level and the OLS test. The finding revealed a statistically significant correlation between FDI and human capital in Malaysia GDP. The result is a statistically significant between FDI and human capital on GDP in Malaysia. Okay, in introduction, economic growth can be identified as the advancement of a country region or population economic resource for the benefit of its citizens. From a policy perspective, economic transformation in order to improve the standard of living for population by establishing a better environment and monetary gain in the nation. Malaysia is developing economy in Asia, which recent year has successfully transformed from an exporter of raw materials into a deficit economy. Okay. Alright, and then in here we can see that GDP growth in Malaysia, GDP in Malaysia average 100.57 USD billion from 1960 until 2020, and then reaching and all the highest of 364.68 USD billion in 2019. Okay, we can see here the figure 2, foreign direct investment in Malaysia is very important for boosting international capital flow and increase economic growth. Okay, and then in figure 3, we can see that human capital in Malaysia, employed person in Malaysia average 95.15 from 1985 until 2021, reaching highest of 650,000 in December of 2021. Okay. And then this is my literature review, and from the Haliza ETL 2021, finding from the Halizam ETL 2021, the macroeconomic factor chosen in the models such as foreign direct investment, trade openness and population contribute favorably and considerably to the expansion of the Malaysian economy. From the original ETL 2018 in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, foreign direct investment has been proven to have a positive correlation with growth. In addition to population growth and trade openness, gross peak capital formation is discovered to have a major impact on this country growth. Okay. And then from the ELINA 2015 revealed the importance of human capital in ensuring economic growth expressed as gross domestic product per capita. The model revealed a positive relationship statistically significant between GDP per capita and innovative capacity of human capital. The study from the Shahjahan 2015, they found she found that the negative significant and adversely to human capital expansion that affect GDP. And then from the ETEL 2016 study the relationship between export FDI GDP in Malaysia from 1980 to 2013. The finding revealed that FDI and GDP had a substantial bilateral long-run relationship. And then the last one from the Segupa and Puri 2019, the study found that the various economic policy of the respective nation play a part in explaining the difference in the quantum of the flow. There is a correlation between FDI and GDP, and that FDI is crucial to the economic growth of the country. Okay. In data methodology, the secondary data will be acquired from the World Data Bank and the National Statistical Department. It's time series data on yearly basis from 1999 to 2018, a period of 20 years. Methodology in this paper, following model as adopted as follows: GDP, equal function from the foreign direct investment and human capital. Okay, and we continue with the result, and we can see at the table 1. Okay, the unit root test for GDP, FDI, and human capital for Malaysia performed first. To identify the order of integration of the variable, a unit root test as the ADF test used. Overall, the Malaysia unit root test such as reveal that GDP, FDI, and human capital are not stationary at the level. However, they are stationary at the first difference for the ADF unit root test. Meanwhile, FDI, GDP, and human capital are all determined to be statistically significant at the 1% level. It may be concluded that the data utilized in this study meet the criteria for utilizing the ARDL test for analysis. And then for table 2, for the regression, we can see that here, okay, we can see that relationship between GDP uh, and human capital and GDP with human capital and FDI significant at 1% level. Okay, and then we can see that GDP, okay, GDP predicted electricity FDI 0.015277 percent rise in GDP. And then for the human capital, we can see that strong significant correlation between FDI and GDP. Okay, and for human capital, we can see that p value, significant value less than 0.05. Okay, from here we can see that elasticity of human capital is 0.53373, indicate that 1% increase in human capital result in 0.53373% increase in GDP. Okay, and then from the NUSA ETL 2017, there is a positive relationship between human capital and real GDP per capita. Okay, so the result we can see that from the regression, increasing human capital, okay, will influence the total GDP. Okay, so this is my 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 result from the calculation, and then from the analysis. And then for the conclusion, the purpose of this study is to investigate the effect of macroeconomic factor on Malaysia real gross domestic product with an emphasis on FDI and human capital. Overall analysis demonstrate that the hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2 hypothesis are accepted with a significant positive impact on GDP. Okay, to reach position of a developed state, every government need take major action to increase economic quality. And then foreign direct investment is one of the most important variables influencing economic growth. Government institutions such as the Malaysia Investment Development Authority, Hamidah, and the Ministry of Finance could collaborate together to stimulate economic growth by encouraging foreign and domestic investment in manufacturing and service to the public as well as outside foreign investors. The Ministry of Economic Affairs and the Ministry of Human Resources are the government agencies in charge of improving human capital in this context. They should limit the rate of immigration who enter the country and urge employers to give a large number of job possibilities for local. Okay, so that's all for my presentation for this paper. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thank you.